In this video, we'll be using SQL Developer to connect to our Oracle database, which we just installed. If you want to see how to install the Oracle database, see my previous video. I'll link it in the description below. Download it from the Oracle website. So you can download it from here. Just like the Oracle database installation, you'd need to sign in to have it downloaded. So I've already downloaded a copy of it, which is still in my downloads folder. It is a portable application, so you won't need to do an installation of it. Click on this icon and launch. So click the plus connection to create a connection to the database you just installed. So the first thing, it's asking for a name for the connection. You're going to keep the default type as Oracle, authentication as default. You're going to need a username and password. Once you install Oracle, it comes with default users like sys and system. In this case, we're going to use system to connect to our database. And the default role. And for the role, you're going to keep it as default. If you're going to use like the sys user, then you would need to connect as sysdba, because sys is a super user. So you need to know your host name, which is currently the local host, and the default port for Oracle database is 1521. And remember, when we were connecting, we specified there was a Oracle global database name which is specified as ORCL. So let's say we're going to connect now. So since we're going to connect as the default user, which is system, and when you did set that password, the ABCD1234, that was set for the system users. So your connection name is going to be system, username system, password, so let's try connecting to this XC and let's see if we're able to connect. Listener does not know of this SID given because we did not create a database called XC, so the listener does not know this. So you will always get this type of error if you try connect to a database which doesn't exist. So we created one called ORCL. So let's type in ORCL. Let's test. You should get a connection success. So let's connect to our database for the first time. This is a list of users which was created. Here is the HR user. Because we did the desktop installation, it created the HR user by default. Most tests and tutorials will refer to the HR user. So let's try connecting to the HR user. You would notice that the tables are different under this system schema. So let's connect as HR. if you're setting up a server for production, you wouldn't get all this default stuff in it, because you would need this in your database for production. So this is a development, so they install the HR schema by default. Same password. My bad, that should be HR. And remember, our database is ORCL. Let's test. The account is locked. So since the account is locked, you're going to have to unlock it with one of the super users, which is sys or system. So let's cancel that. Going back as system, HR, edit user. Let's see where it's saying the account is locked. So let's unlock it. And now we have to set a password. So let's set a password of ABCD1234. Oops. Okay. So let's try connecting again. HR, username HR, ABCD1234, and remember here SID. If we try to do a connection, look at the error which is going to give us. Does not know of SID given in connect descriptor. ORCL. Disconnection. Look like I didn't set the password correctly. So let's do it again. Edit user. We do not want to expire password at next login, so let's uncheck that. Apply. Okay. HR. HR. Why is that not working? Let's try password. Password 123. Let's go back to HR. Alter. New password, confirm password. Unlimited. Okay, let's try connecting again. So I need to edit the properties. Okay, so it seems like the password was the issue, because the ABCD123, it was seeing that as a reuse password. So now we should be able to connect. So our password for HR is now password 123. So if you expand HR schema, expand tables, you should see the employee tables on the HR. So let's just do a select to see what's in employees table. Oops. You're going to hit the script thing here to execute, and you will see the data down here. If you want to execute a single line of code, you can hit this one. If you have multiple lines, so let's say we have this, it will execute all of them. But if you just put the cursor in front of one, then it will select that one right there, select just that record set. So that should be it for connecting to the Oracle database. SQL Developer is a tool by itself which just facilitates connecting to the database development and management and administration. Nothing else. It can't do anything by itself. And for the HR schema, there was a number of things which I had to do. So let's go back and take a look. I did change the table space. The table space is like the virtual storage area for the user data. So the tables, the triggers, all of that will be stored within the user's table space. Not the triggers, but the table data. And also grant unlimited quota on the user's table space. If there is no quota on the user's table space, then they won't be able to do anything. You can also set the quota that you want, so you can set it to like 10 megabytes, 10 gigabytes, depending on you. And I also granted the connect rule. Where is it? Resource. Right, I also granted the connect rule and the system privilege right here. Create session. This is also very important in connecting to the database. So let's disable this and see what happens. Apply. Now let's disconnect. Now let's try connect back. HR locks create session privilege, log on denied. So now you have to log on as a super user, so you can log on as sys or sysdba to grant the create session privilege. Whenever you create a user and they need to log on to the database, they need create session privilege. So let's go back to HR, edit user, system privilege, create session. And for all of these tasks, there's a SQL script associated with it. Create session. Create session, where is it? Create session right here. So let's view the SQL. So this is what the SQL look like. So let's apply. Now we should be able to connect as our HR user again. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.